And welcome back, everybody, to back-to-back nights of I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, West New York's premier market and tap room, with over 300 beers to choose from, which I'm sure you could use after that embarrassing performance tonight from the Buffalo Sabres. And, of course, Buffalo Logo Apparel, West New York's premier market and tap room, with all the shirts, hats, and hoodies you need to represent the Bills, the Sabres, and whoever you support out here in Buffalo. Make sure you shop local. Sabres get spanked 6-4. But I really don't think that score is indicative of how bad the Sabres played, honestly, even though they gave up 6 goals.
Yeah, it was back and forth all night. Just when you thought they were able to get back in it after a slow start, 15 seconds later, the Blue Jackets would come down and get a goal of their own. Especially with the start of the third period. You get some momentum from Yuri Kulik scoring his first NHL goal. They score 15 seconds later. The end of the second period, Owen Power scores right before the end of the second. And you always say in hockey, if you get a goal at the end of the period, that should be good momentum heading into the next period. If it's within the last 45, 30, even a minute, getting a goal at the end of the period should be used as momentum for your team to come out in the next period and show something. But the beginning of the third period was the exact opposite. The Blue Jackets got it deep. There was a turnover, point shot, nobody covering the front of the net. And I think it was Zach Anton Reese had all of the time in the world to get a deflection, albeit a pretty weak one that I think Devin Levi absolutely will want back. Wasn't his best night as well. We'll get into that. But it's just representative of where this team is right now. You get a very big goal at the end of the second period. Your team, your fans, as everybody's excited for the third, 15 seconds in, they score a weak goal, and then you lose 6-4. It's utterly the game was over as soon as they scored that fifth goal. I think we all knew it. And it is absolutely embarrassing from the owner's box to the GM to even the coaching staff at this point, 6 games into this season, to the roster, to the players, to the execution. It is absolutely embarrassing.
And as per usual, our boy Mauricio is in the chat lighting them up. Again, second night in a row. How can you blame him? I mean, I think there are a couple players that might have earned a spot in the doghouse tonight with Lindy Ruff. Samuelson being at the top of the list. Cousins, for sure. I mean, Dahlin isn't playing well. He's not. He's not. Honestly, I think that if you're going to ask me, there's 3 guys who, in my opinion, are their best players right now, and that's JJ Peterka, Jordan Greenway, and Owen Power.
I put Ryan McLeod in there too.
Ryan McLeod, yeah, sure. We'll add him to it. But like everyone else, there's non-existent. They show up in spurts. Like nobody on this team wants to play a full 60-minute game.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. I was Lance Lysowski from the Buffalo News tweeted out the stats of the first 6 games of last season compared to the first 6 games of this season. We're 1-4-1 as of now, 17 goals for, 24 goals against, 0 for 17 on the power play. So you bring Seth Appert in, you try some creativity, try to get pucks on that, maybe some deflections, some dirty goals. You're getting none of that. They've won 1 game since Munich 20 days ago. And through the first 6 games of last season, they were 2-4, 13 goals for, 18 goals against, 2 for 21 on the power play. So it turns out the nostalgia hire, no disrespect to Lindy Ruff. We love Lindy Ruff. I think it was probably a pretty good hire in terms of experience and what a young group needed in terms of accountability. But aside from revamping the third line and a little bit of the fourth line, this is the exact same team as last year. They didn't bring in a single defenseman. It is the same goaltenders, which we thought were going to be better, but both of them, especially after tonight, after 2 strong starts from Levi to begin the season, they're not playing their best. And it's effectively the exact same roster as last season, maybe even a little bit worse because you lost Jeff Skinner. You lost, I'm not going to throw Zemgus Girgensons into this, but you lost guys that you didn't really
lost Casey Middlestat. You lost
Casey Middlestat. You traded for Bowen Byram, obviously, who's not necessarily making that big of an impact. And you tried to run it back, hoping for some positive regression, and it doesn't look like you're getting it. So that was our biggest worry, right? They didn't add much to the forward group. They didn't add much to the defense. I think we were both pretty confident in the goaltending, but when you run the exact same,
here's the thing. I still am. Like, goalies aren't going to play superb every single game. You know what I mean? Like, it's just you're gonna have a fucking a shitty game here and there. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, you said 2 for you're including the preseason trip to Munich, right? Like, when you said 2 for 21.
Oh no, that was last season. And
last season. For the first 6 games. Yes. Okay. They're 0 for 17, I believe, right now
on the power play.
0 for 17.
I would argue, like, not really getting many scoring chances on the power play.
Yeah, just like, I don't even know. Do you put McLeod on the power play? Do you keep him as a mainstay, a guy who can enter the zone with speed?
Yeah, at least he's showing like a little bit of jump.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, the one bright spot here we have to talk about is Yuri Kulik getting his first NHL goal. Obviously not what we expected to see of his first NHL goal, deflection in front, but whatever, I'll take it.
Even before that, though, he had some good opportunities.
Oh yeah, he rang the post once, I believe. Like, he had a couple good. He had probably the 2 best chances on the power play the whole night for sure. Yeah. I think it was in the first period. But like, I mean, I'm just speechless at this point. Like,
I was told to call out Matthias Samuelsson by a group of friends watching the game. And,
I mean, you don't have to be told by anybody. We saw with our eyes how bad he is.
I'll take this chance to at least mention it. He's been pretty brutal to begin the year. I would say one of the worst defensive performances I've ever seen to begin a season from who was supposed to be your lockdown, defensively responsible defenseman.
And he's locked up for how many more years?
I think it's 6-7 years. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty troubling that he's not showing any sign of life whatsoever. I think we get a sense of his personality a little bit from these videos and the team. He's got a sense of humor. He seems like to be a pretty big locker room guy. None of that matters if you go out there and you're giving up pucks in your own end and you're showing no tenacity in front of your net. You're not covering anybody. Even on the first goal, he goes down for a block, turns his head to the right, completely screens Devin Levi, and the Blue Jackets player toe drags right around him and shoots it short side. You expect so much more from a guy in that role specifically to at least be even a tiny bit more responsible in his own end. And he's not. And it's extremely disappointing.
There's
and
nowhere
he either needs to be benched or something needs to happen.
I've always been an advocate of, like, honestly, I thought Samuelsson should have been benched the rest of the game after that turnover in the first period.
Yeah.
Should have been benched the rest of the game. What are you? I mean, yes, you want to save from Levi there for sure. You can say what you want about Byram, maybe taking his eye, ruin his line of sight there with the way he crossed from. Sure. Okay. You want to save there, but that play never should happen. Dude, you're in the Samuelsson. You're in the far fucking corner, bro. The far corner. And you learn in Bams, Hurls. Bams, if you're under pressure, if you know what to do, up the boards and out. Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. Instead, he throws a fucking isosceles triangle pass, whatever you want to call it, to the far blue line, gets picked off, he walks it in, nobody steps up on him, and just shoots and scores. That, like, you can say anything you want about Levi, and yes, he should have made that save, but that play should have.
This is a good point by my buddy Jack. The signs were there when Lindy didn't bring in his own staff. Remind me who the defensive coach is.
Marty Wilford, right?
Our good buddy Marty Wilford, who at one point last season, we weren't sure what his credentials even were.
No, we have no clue.
Yeah, well, I looked him up eventually.
Friends with Kevin Adams, probably, right?
He does have a good deal. He does have a good deal of AHL coaching experience before this opportunity. But Seth Appert, the head coach in Rochester, a system hire, was the only addition to Lindy's coaching staff. Mike Harrington was going back and forth with a few people on Twitter tonight about how Lindy did have some say on what his coaching staff would be. But I think we were all pretty surprised that the only addition
Was
was Seth Appert, who was already in the organization. Lindy Ruff, who's been in the NHL and coaching in the NHL for, 30 plus years now, you don't think he would have wanted anybody else to bring in to potentially help with the power play? Oh, Matt Ellis is still the eye in the sky. Thank God he's there.
Yeah.
Thank God Matt Ellis is helping this team out as much as he did last season. It is a really good point that this is all very emblematic of the fact that it was a nostalgia hire. Kevin Adams didn't have the ability to spend up to the cap this offseason, and he hasn't for a few years now. And they were praying to God that Dylan Cousins, Tage Thompson, Alex Tuck's been fine. But these three guys that were unbelievable in 22 and 2023 would somehow be even better, would be the same or even better than they were 2 years ago. And they're not. So...
Carol, I just please give me the credit because I've been saying it for how long?
I mean, well,
I've been saying it for how long? And I had to listen to people.
No,
let me talk. I had to listen to people say, "Oh no, dude," and I think I bookmarked them all. I think I bookmarked every fucking tweet. People telling me, "Oh, they're gonna be so much tougher to play against, man. They're gonna be so much tougher to play against." Let me tell you, man, they're gonna be a hard as nails team. Yeah. No. Does that look like a tougher team to play against to you?
No.
That looks like a team, much like I described in the offseason. You're going to have spurts of scoring from your stars, but you're not going to have consistency. If you don't replace Jeff Skinner's scoring production, if you don't replace Casey Middleset's scoring production, you're not going to make the playoffs. Plain and simple. You are looking at this. This team is looking at being a lottery team again for how many fucking years in a row, and I'm sick and tired of it, man. I'm so sick and tired of it.
We shouldn't even know what.
Where's Kevin?
We shouldn't even know what James Hagan's name is, but everybody's now researching who the top prospects are in the 2025 NHL draft.
Oh my God!
And let's say that does happen, that would be 10 years after the Eichel McDavid draft. 10 years, we were told. This was a rebuilding process. And how many different rebuilds have we had since we drafted Jack Eichel in 2015? 3?
Yeah.
4?
Do you even fucking blame him for wanting out anymore, man?
No,
how can you?
Absolutely no, I don't. You
can hate him all you want, and we can, man. You know, for the way he acted on the way out the door. But I was an adamant defender of him up until that day he came back to Buffalo. But how can you blame him? How can you blame Sam? How can you blame anybody who wanted to pack their shit and leave? Just the ineptitude, whatever the word is, of management of this team.
Ineptitude,
yeah. Just where the Sabres are worth over $1 billion, bro. How much did Kevin Adams? How much did Terry Buell buy this team for? They were you know what I mean? Actually, I can't remember exactly how much he purchased the Sabres for when he bought them. It could have been more than $500,000. Couldn't have
been. $500 million.
Sorry, $500 million. Yes, I apologize. But most NHL teams are worth over $1 billion nowadays. They just are. Your football team is printing money, dude. It is printing money. Josh Allen could fucking take a shit, draw a picture of it, post it on Instagram, and then they'll put it on a T-shirt and write Bill's Mafia on it, and you'll sell 1,000 of them.
Well, the difference...
You're printing money, and yet you have an internal cap for the team. You purchased the first...
Well, I would say the difference is that the best move, as much as we give Sean McDermott shit, the best move that Terry made after the Rex Ryan debacle was hiring Sean McDermott,
who brought Brandon Beane,
who brought in Brandon Beane, and then Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott said to Terry, "Hey, this is our team. We're running this ship, and you don't have much say in our personnel decisions and what we do." And from that point on, they didn't get lucky with Josh Allen because he was a prospect that eventually he was developed and he got to a point where his physical talents and his physical traits translated. But the best decision he ever made was giving full control to Sean McDermott, and he wanted that. And no coach, no GM, no semblance of that whatsoever has existed for the Sabres since Lindy Ruff and Darcy Regier in the early 2000s, I guess. Like, that has not been a thing. And there needs to be a president of hockey operations, as we talked about. There's not going to be, because Terry refuses. There's not going to be a GM with GM experience, because Adams appears to be his puppet. And he wants control of this team for some godforsaken reason, in the same way that Woody Johnson does with the Jets. And what do you know? It's the only other team that has missed the playoffs for 13 straight seasons. We are the New York Jets of the NHL, which is horribly and unbelievably depressing with everything we've seen about the New York Jets over the past 2 weeks. Aaron Rodgers is now running their team. Ayahuasca enthusiast, 40-year-old broken Aaron Rodgers is running their team.
Oh, it's pathetic, man. It just is. We deserve so much better, else. We deserve so much. I know we're just 6 games in, but like, are we to have this conversation and say, oh, we're just 7 games in? Like, what was the number we put this at 10 games into the season? What was the number that Kevin should be fearful for his job if they were what, like 3-7 or 2-8?
Yeah, we said 3-7, and even last night, if they have 5 points or less. That's a possibility.
They have 3 points out of a possible 12, man.
It's a possibility they have 5 points or less, for sure.
Yeah.
And I would say at the end of October, if they're still at the bottom of the East or the bottom of the Atlantic, I don't know how. If Terry actually says he cares about the organization, I don't know how Kevin Adams isn't the next scapegoat, and you bring in anybody with any experience whatsoever running a professional hockey team in the NHL to come in and try to turn this thing around. Because right now, Kevin Adams is either answering too much to Terry or he's in over his head. That's plain and simple.
Queen Phoenix should play as a Sabres fan for his next role. This team deserves a fucking movie, man. It's the most embarrassing in all of professional sports.
Aside from the Jets.
Cindy Newman was just asking Kelsey if you guys still had a podcast to do. We're out on a limb and assuming that's
we're on
Kelsey Newman's mom.
We're on thin ice. We're on thin ice here.
Yeah.
After Saturday, we might not have one anymore.
Yeah, man. Listen, shout out to Kelsey Newman, friend of the program. Oh my God. Like, are we allowed to root for a different team? No, we can't. No. That was kind of a joke.
For all the people, how about this? For all the people that want to give up and are only going to come back when there's like some semblance of hope, I do not blame you at all.
No,
I really don't.
I'm not gonna be like, don't jump on the bandwagon. Like, I don't blame you.
No. Please
bandwagon.
jump off.
Jump off.
You have every right
jump
to
off
jump
before
off.
this thing goes off a fucking cliff, bro.
You have every right to jump off.
It's on fire right now. People are screaming.
There are those of us.
We're throwing kids out the side to save the children, women and children.
Those of us that sold our souls to the devil a long time ago that are never going to jump off. That will literally be holding on to a wooden pole as the Titanic is sinking into the frozen Atlantic. That's me and Duane and a few of my other friends. Yeah. But feel free to jump off and go to the lifeboat, because this is going to get.
Go support the Amherst. There you go. Go support the Amherst. Stop watching the Sabres. Go support the Amherst. Come back when the starts to care.
I will say that there is some comedy in the utter, as we said it before, ineptitude. There is a tiny bit of comedy until something like actually tangible changes with this organization, right? Like, the next move is obvious, as we said. The next it's not Lindy, right? He just got here. This is the same team as last season.
It's the players.
It's the roster, yeah. So it's obviously Kevin Adams, right? And until
I drowned a long time ago.
Like I said, there is some comedy in this, and some of our best shows are these comments after these wonderful.
Oh my God!
But until Kevin Adams is fired, and until a president of hockey operations, despite Terry's stubbornness to not want that, and an actual experienced NHL GM, even if it's Carmanos. He helped out in Pittsburgh. At least he had some experience before he came here to do something with this organization, something with this team. Do anything at all that's not revamp the third and the fourth line and trade one of your best players and prospects for, I mean, I like Ryan McLeod a lot, but you trade Casey Middlestat for Bowen Byram. You try to do absolutely anything. I get it. But they didn't sign players. They bought out one of our top goal scorers and fan favorites. They didn't do anything. And we knew this could happen. We knew it.
We've been saying it since the fucking day they did it, man. If they need to, we assumed that $7 million was going to be spent. No, they just spent it on the guys that they could have spent it on before they bought out Jeff Skinner because they had the money.
Did you hear Jeff Skinner score tonight to give the Oilers the lead at one point?
Good. He's got, 3 now, I think, on the season? Yeah. It's great. Good for him. Because you know what? I put a futures parlay on him, Tage, and I put Tage is looking decent at least, 40 or more goals. Reinhart scoring 50 again, and I think I put Skinner scoring 40. $50 pays out $11,000. So one of my very first bets ever, and I feel pretty fucking good about it.
Put that right back to the podcast.
Yeah, literally. I don't even know.
Right. I have a hockey game.
Yeah, we got to get out of here, guys. Final thoughts. I might stick on for a little bit longer, but your final thoughts, Hurls.
I was thinking to myself at one point in the first period, like right before the game, I get home, long day at work. I sit down. I missed the first period because I was still at work, but I sit down in the second, and I'm just like, I'm so glad that I didn't watch the entirety of that first period because the moments I tuned in were the dullest, most boring brand of hockey I had witnessed in a long time. It took 13 minutes to get 2 shots on goal? Something along those lines.
They got their first shot on net at the 11-minute mark of the first period. So,
another slow start, which was pretty emblematic of the team last season. The power play sucks. Stars aren't producing. They're not tough to play against. You're not getting consistent goaltending. The defense is letting guys run wide open in front of the net. And they're not responding well to adversity whatsoever or having any semblance of momentum at all. This team makes me want to shave my sack on a cheese grater. Yeah, that's my cue. I'm out of here. I'm gonna.
Oh my god! Hold on. Let me just get the screen grab of that real quick with both of us.
I'm gonna go to try to win my own hockey team again.
How's the team doing looking?
The Beertown Ice Hogs are probably better run than the Buffalo Sabres. All right, I'm out of here.
All right, guys. See you later, Earls. Yeah. Producer Steve, this team makes me want to shave my sack with a cheese grater. Oh, that's fantastic. Where's Kevin? Get it going, guys. Anybody who is in the chat right now, if you have a Twitter account, if you have a Facebook account, if you have an Instagram, where's Kevin? Hashtag Saberhood, hashtag where's Kevin? Get this going. Get this going because where the fuck is he? Like, where is he? As fans, we should be sick of this shit. This is the 3rd year in a row where he's done nothing for this group offensively. He's our 3rd time failed to bring in players to improve this team. And we sat there and tried to they brought in Lindy Ruff. That was the biggest addition for sure. But they brought a bunch of Lindy Ruff guys in to play their bottom 6. Great. What about the top 6? The top 6 that failed you miserably last season, time and time again. Again, for a 3rd year in a row, you didn't address it. You took away from it. You bought out Jeff Skinner. You traded Casey Middlestat at the deadline, and you replaced him with a bunch of bottom 6 guys that you had the money to sign before. You did all that. Should have just paid Casey Middlestat, man. Oh my God. Pass that cheese grater. Oh man. Daryl Shannon in the Buffalo Beer Leagues is in better shape than our defenseman. No, don't doubt it. Kevin's logic. Coddling and relationships actually waiting hockey games. Pop open a fatty beer. This is going to be a long season. Hashtag where's Kevin? Yes, where's Kevin? That needs to be trending tonight. Where's Kevin? because I am sick of this shit. I'm going to get a jersey that's going to say hashtag where's Kevin. I'll have the number that says 13U on it. Because I'm sick of this, man. I'm sick of this. I appreciate all of you. I really, really fucking do, man. All of you who hop on here with us. I know it's funny after they lose because it's like, it's almost like funny because we're miserable and the misery behind it. Like, but we just deserve a good hockey team. How do you let the playoffs of 13 years in a row? It only half the teams make it. Half the teams make it, and you miss 13, going on 14 years in a row. You did nothing. You changed nothing. Scoreboard. Fuck the top six. Oh my God. And you can't figure it out. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so bad. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. Coach 13, you don't even made a GM. It's so fucking bad, bro. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I feel bad for the goalies to fucking deal with this shit in front of them all season long. Oh, I feel bad for guys like JJ Paterka and Zach Benson who really just don't know the true pain of this yet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Guys, I gotta go. I can't. Oh. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is so bad. So bad. Bring Tyrod back. Oh yeah. And we'll kick through the last of your comments here because this is the version of Steve Dangle team ruining our lives. Cousin Sammy was worth long-term deal over Mitson and Rhino. KO is so smart. I know. He's gone insane a little bit. Oh, God. It's so bad. It's so bad. Half the teams make the playoffs in the NHL, and you're going to miss it for the 14th year in a row. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is so bad. Oh. Oh. All right, guys. Remember, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, West New York's premier American and tap room with over 300 beers to choose from at all their locations, live music, entertainment, and trivia. Once in a while, we do a live show there. So, keep an eye out when we do that. And you can watch me have a mental breakdown in public in real life. That'd be a great time. And of course, Buffalo Go Apparel. Best spot to get all of your Buffalo sports apparel needs. Make sure you go check them out at Buffalo Co. on Instagram and Twitter, at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter. I am Duane from Two Goalies, One Mic for Hurls, who had to step out because he had a hockey game, a real hockey game, probably a more competitive hockey game. Hashtag where's Kevin, guys? Get it going. Please get it going. I'll talk to you guys later. And as always, go Sabres.